Greetings, folks. Greetings. Just having a quick little bite. Quick little bite. I tried to go over to the Indian shop, but they wasn't open today. So I have to get another plant-based sandwich. Right? So forgive me. Mm. Yeah. Mark Basket in the building. What's happening? Been a little while. Mm. Huh? So look at the shoes. Yeah. Well, I was on the way out of the workshop, but then we had a delivery that come in. So I had to stay back and do the delivery. Yeah. Gotcha. Get deliveries out of the way now. So I can chill out. Thank you. What's new, Mr. Basket? How we doing? Any news from Phil? Any news from Phil? Hmm? Oh. Not in a long time. Yeah, you haven't heard from Phil. I wonder whether he's okay. I haven't heard from him or seen him in a long time. I don't mind if I don't see him, right? But I just hope he's free, right? I hope he's a free man wherever he is, right? That's all I want. Just make sure he's a free man. Yeah, make sure he's a free man. You know? Yeah? No way. Hang on, it says my mate's here. Where's? Oh. Yeah, you agree, no? Exactly, no. As long as he's free, right? As long as he's a free man, that's what that matters. He can be anywhere in the world as long as he's free, and that's what matters to me. Noble, no, in the building. I meant to have a friend swing by. Hopefully, the link works. Hopefully, the link works, man. It's just YouTube. They give you that option now where you can go live with a friend. So yeah, hopefully that works, man. When is that? Sure. Okay. You're welcome. Oh, here we are. Here we go. How do I add? Hold on. It said add. Press add. Hopefully that works.
I'm on my phone.
Yeah, me too, bro.
So hopefully people can hear me.
I got you loud and clear. 5x5 on my side. I can hear you, bro.
There we go. I'm not
Welcome.
modern stuff, so.
How we doing, Paul?
I'm not too bad. I know you're at work today. I'm having a quiet one. I had some 3 minutes, and I just said, fancy doing something for a few minutes. You went okay, so here we go.
Here we go. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Hey, first of all, Paul, I'm a big fan of your work, bro. The etymology stuff, you knocked that right out of the park, bro. Right out of the park with your etymology stuff, man. And all your other findings in between, spot on, bro. You're doing a bloody good service for the community.
Well, hopefully. Like I said, I'm dyslexic and I find it hard. So I've always been under the impression that if words are spells, you can say a spell any way that you want to, in any form that you want to, and it will have a different effect than what people imagine. So if they bring it up phonetically or like I do, it could change the outcome. And it seems to be when you break words down, you always seem to get to the root of whatever that you're looking into, and you always find something intriguing. So why, you know?
Yeah, definitely. When you break it down, you definitely find something. Definitely. And also, Paul, I've noticed, right, when you spell words in reverse, right, it gives you another glimpse of what you're looking at. Right? It ties in little bits and bobs. Like it's weird, but I think basically where the Islamic culture, right, they write from left to right. And that's how I spell some of these English words from left to right, and it tells me a different story. But for some reason, it always leads back to the eye, thing to do with the eye.
And you know why?
Why do you think that is?
Because when you're looking in reverse, what are you looking at? You're looking at yourself in a mirror. Yourself, and your eyes are like, even in this new video that I'm working on. I won't say too much, but as I've said for many years, your eyes are scrying mirrors. So when you're looking at words and you're looking at yourself in the mirror or reflecting back in reverse these words, you're looking within. So the spell is going within, and your pupils, hence why they're black, because they're the scrying mirror part of your eye, and that's how you can contact and see the dead, see the supernatural. It's all about oscillation of frequencies, change angels of the lenses, and that's all it is. And that's why even backwards you find intriguing things, because it's not reversing the spell as such. Well, it is, but it's reversing. It's coming within, so it's coming back at you inside. It's like a message for other realms, as they say.
Like an encoded message.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? Ooh, I like that. I
It,
like that.
But think about it. When people always say to you, you know, they look at you, they judge you. Don't judge a book by its cover, because that's why your eyes are black as well, because it's like a judge's outfit. You're judging someone,
Ooh.
you know, and it's all to do with things people don't realise. That's why they're called pupils. You know, I know it means bad and apple and melon, but you're learning. You're a disciple. You're beginning of the journey, and more that you look at, the more experience, more light that you get, because light is information, light is divine, they say. And that's what happens. We're judging something, and then when we're looking with our eyes and we don't even have the ability to see colours, it's all done in the brain. It freaks you out. It's like, what is actually going on in this realm that we're not even seeing in colour? What are we actually seeing? So this is some of the things I'm looking at in the next video. It's blown my mind, some of the questions I'll ask in that, but pop-ups on my computer. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, because when you are looking at screen mirrors, you're looking at your reflection, you know, so, and your eyes in particular. So, you know, it's how you're contacting you. But it's like an inverted reducer type of thing. You know, you look at her eye, you turn to stone, of sorts. But especially looking at your eyes in the mirror, and that's when they say you're looking in the mirror, you're looking naked flames and different things. It's just your reflection and the reflection of your eyes, and in particular, you know, the screen mirrors.
Yeah. Fascinating. And the more I look at the architecture around the world, right, especially with these domed buildings, because I've always known there was something with these domed buildings, right? On one of my uploads, I did mention about the holes in the roof, right? There's me thinking I was bloody onto something, and you bloody covered this a few years back ago, right? Right? So salute to you, bro. I thought I was onto something, and then I see Paul bloody got a whole upload with this. I'm like, oh, brilliant, right? So the dome stuff. What's your thoughts?
The Oculus, yeah, I was crazy when I said, oh, the Oculus, that's to do with the eye, and then you think, oh, it's a hole in the roof to let the light through to represent the eye. So it's a sacred place, it's an important place to them. And then when you start breaking the words down of Oculus, and it means the world belongs to us, you know, it belongs to the eye, because I know you hear things and you do learn what you're hearing, but, you know, your eyes are bloody important piece of the puzzle. And how you look at this world reflects inward, not just outward, it reflects inward. It can change you, you know, so that's why they are very important. And people don't understand is if that's what I always do. If you get an explanation from a big channel or a big content creator telling you what things are, it doesn't necessarily mean as the only answer out there. There's not. We see the world uniquely, so we're all going to have a different answer. Then you put them answers together, it reveals, and you can break down. You can see patterns, everything.
I agree with that, and we all see it different. Hold on, because you said something about 1%, right?
Yeah.
And the colors of the iris. I like that. We may be seeing different spectrums due to the colors of our iris. We may not see. Basically, we all might see a different shade of yellow. Is that what you're trying to get out, or a different shade of blue? But we all can agree that we're looking at a shade of yellow, even though it may not be that correct shade that we're seeing altogether.
Well,
is that what you...
Sort of. I mean, when we start looking at these things, we all have them moments, like, you know, when we think we're onto something, and then it's like, how did it even miss? Like the left eye, Latin name is sinister, but there is a condition called tetrachromancy, and that's a condition where it's mainly in females, but some males will have it, that they have more cones, more cones in their eyes. And they can see more colours. So if you think about it, if there's that, it's a genuine condition. Sounds a bit like necromancy, doesn't it? But the tetrachromancy just makes they basically say where would we be seen in high def? And then you have 4K, 8K, and whatever. They see more colours, more vivid, and more things. So you think, if they are seeing that, is there someone else out there with more rods or the? And what else is there that people are seeing differently? So yeah, so if you know when you see programs and you see people once you get touched by death, you're able to see the veil.
Yeah.
You can see like this. And I made a point in this new video, which I will divulge now as we're talking. If you think about it, we talk about the veil. And the veil is thin on those days and different things like this. What if, and this is a huge what if, that the veil is self-induced? It's a program, it's a force field to stop us from seeing things. Think about it. When we're younger, no one has got to us, and we see crazy stuff out. And the older we get and become more of a pupil to a graduate, learning and being indoctrinated, tend to think, oh well, there's no such thing as this. So we're putting our own self-induced coma of thoughts as a self-induced force field. But that I'm thinking is that veil could be. Hence why you know.
Got you. Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying there. Yes. It's one of those things where we programmed our own veil, belief systems and everything. Yeah, brilliant. I see where you're going with that.
Talk about light and everything like that is supposed to be a wave. So if there's a basic wave, you can see on the screen, guys, right? But everything is a wave. So let me do another wave, and I'll carry on. So you keep doing wave after wave after wave after wave, and just getting into a boom. So what happens when these waves collide? Is this where light is different? Is this why we can see shit? Because all these waves are colliding, the light's colliding. You think about it, there's ultraviolet, there's different other, so many different stuff. And when you mix colours and mix frequencies, you could get something else. Is that the door opening up on these certain locations? So these are the things I'm talk about in everything is a wave or a particle or whatever they want you to believe. There's only so much room these waves are. So everything, we could be walking around this realm now, and someone else in another realm and in another state could be walking around as well. We're sharing the same space. And if you learn and open your eyes, you've got more cones, more rods, or something different in you that lets you see in between all where these places collide. The things are endless. Yeah. Yeah. And if you know alchemy, the more base ingredients and stuff for mixing breaks down to three suns: black, red, and white. So you're talking about the sun, and that's supposedly where we get our light from in waves. If there's three different types of waves and you mix them together, what does it produce? And this is what I'm going to theorize and have done for many, many years, because no one knows shit. If I say in the chat, search engine, when was the moon discovered? Type that actual words and it'll say 1609 or something like that. So you're telling me that's when the first time it was actually found? I don't think so. But so why are they saying that? Because, they're not accurate. It's letting you know what they want you to know. I can hear you. Yeah. He's gone quiet now. Let's say whatever we want.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Can anybody hear me?
Yep, I can.
I know they can.
Everyone else.
We got Paul in the house, so this is a special lunch break for us, bro. This is a special lunch break, man. You know, special lunch break. Thank you, Sote. Brilliant stuff. So, hold on.
Your people.
There was something I wanted to ask you.
Go on,
so what's that, Paul?
I'm not going to show in particular, but I'll just show you that this is how I'm actually, as we're talking, as you can see, I'm actually at my computer making the next video. There you go. I'm actually up to 26 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. You can see I was talking about the frequency thing there. But that's how as we're walking about it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Brilliant.
A little sneak peek for everyone, out there. But yeah, I'm even going to talk about in this video more than one sun, because I think it's important. You know, people can shoot it down, but ancient people actually talked about there was more than one sun. And if you type into a search engine, is our sun, was it on its own? The theory is now, no, it's not on its own. It wasn't on its own. But where's the other sun gone? Is the other sun the moon, or has it just disappeared? What effect would have it on our viewing? You know, how do you see this place having an extra sun and all that good stuff? What would it do to us? Would it affect how we see things? I mean, we've even got ancient Romans talking about an extra sun in the sky. You know.
Extra sun with the Romans. Okay. I've never heard that concept from the Romans before.
Yeah, they talk about. I mean, if I turn it round, I don't see it. You can see. There you go. You can see on the screen. No, that's what I'll be talking about in a minute. Well, not in a minute, but on the video, they talk about more suns. You type in your petroglyphs, you'll get people drawing extra suns and moons. Now, a fascinating thing, I don't know if you've done it, because like I said, I've not gone through all your videos. It is said, let me just get it where it's up on my screen so I can read out as we're speaking. It actually said our ancestors had better vision. So I don't know what people think of that. I mean, I think it's wow. But yeah, our ancestors had better vision, and more in particular, more powerful night vision. It's crazy. So
that's good. That's good. I'm glad you said that, because part of me, right, I feel like the main technology, right, is to do with our eyes and our brain to a sense, and I feel like organs and the muscles and everything, it's based around the brains and the eyes. Like it's the most efficient part of the mechanism, the body, basically.
yeah.
Understand? Yeah, even with the night vision, what you just said, right? They're actually talking about giving people a sight where they can actually see the spectrums that they don't see anymore, right? Lenses. And that's the way I feel when they show us the quote unquote solar system, or, you know, the heavens, the space. I feel like even with these movies, you know, when they show you Predator and all these things, there's a reason why they probably were showing us his night vision. But that's the type of sight we'll be seeing, right? How Predator would see.
Yeah. I mean, they call it, there's a thing they called opposition colours, and in particular they call them the forbidden colours. It's crazy to think about it. I mean, I've mentioned in this video because I think it's important how we're looking at things, because if we use light to see, if we had more than one sun or one or more moon, that would then change surely how we see. And what's interesting to me is I've included it in this video. There's an ancient folk tale from Borneo, right? And it tells of man's fury at two menacing, unforgiving suns, and how one sun was transformed into a moon, right? So you just I'll draw a circle on a piece of picture now, and transformed into a moon by his spear, right? Now, transformed the moon in a spear, right in its heart. What's that look like?
That looks like the eye itself, and it looks like that alchemy sign for gold.
For gold, it's a symbol for the sun. It's the Godhead. It's a circumpunct. It's a sacred symbol.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how the ancients weren't happy with it, and basically threw a spear into it, and it looks like an eye, and it got changed into a moon. I mean, did you know? I didn't know this, so until I've researched it for this video that I'm talking about. Did you know the moon disappeared for years? I didn't know that. Did you know? And anyone in chat that the moon in 1111, so 1110, the 11s, the moon disappeared, and science are basically saying it was it was volcanoes. That they didn't know what they were on about. What can you say to these intriguing things? The moon disappeared for years, creating famine. Mind blowing. Oh, you missed it now. You have to check the reply. So what I was on about is London. The moon disappeared for years. In 1010, it disappeared from the sky. Now people are saying, like so-called scientists these days, that it was volcanic action that made it disappear. But they can't rule out anything. But so it disappeared. Where did it go? Was it just from view? Was it really there? Who knows? There's just more shit and shenanigans when you look into things that talking about. Think about it now. When you are supposed to be talking to the dead or seeing the weird and the wonderful, it's called a medium, isn't it? We are a medium. Well, this realm, what we breathe is a medium. It's water. It's a medium. So all the things are there straight away for you to use. Why? Another thing that I talk about, I shouldn't go into too much, but give it away and people don't want to watch it. When they talk about the main colours that we see, it's called the spectral colours, right? That's another name for a ghost, the dead. Is there a coincidence?
Okay.
So we're seeing the dead with our eyes, and the colours that we can see are classed as dead. We don't see colour, we're seeing black and white. Rain basically falsifies it, it's an illusion. So all these things are just really intriguing when you start looking at it differently, going back over stuff that you've made. That's what I do. I forget what I made last week. So when I'm making a video, I just quickly go through things from old videos and clips and put them in because it blows you away. Like I'm talking about, and if you break down marble, marb actually means spiritually dead. And people have always
dead.
Marble statues being so lifelike, they look like they've been turned in.
Wow.
I made that video years ago and it's not got traction. I thought, well, people are talking about these marble statues being lifelike. Why is it marble mean spiritually dead? Why is no one talking about that? When on holiday or with school or whatever, and you go and sleep in a dormitory. Dormitory is basically like a cemetery. That's its etymology. Side by ground buried. Just like when we go to bed at night. We set and we lie down like we're in a coffin. And we get resurrected and reanimated the next day. the consciousness goes somewhere else because we're basically recharging. It just gets me excited when you start looking at things a bit differently.
Indeed. And look, when you just mentioned the dormitory, I thought of like you said, the graveyard, the tree, cemetery, right? Dormitory, but also things in the cemetery, they lay dormant, don't they?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, dormant, dormitory, cemetery, yeah.
And that's what people, that's why I said to people on my video, don't take my word for it. Don't take X amount of channels' word for it. Go and look for yourself. Go and find, look at words, break them down differently. Find something that's hidden, because a word is a spell. And, you know, you all these magic films and Harry Potter and different things, and you say a spell differently, it has a different effect. So if the word is in that, find it for yourself. Go and be intrigued of what you find.
Yeah. It's fascinating, man. I always urge people to go and do it. Like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it, man. It's not an exclusive thing. It's there to be cracked.
Yeah. And people don't understand that. That's why this realm is unique, and why it matters that our perspective matters, because our eyes oscillate, they vibrate, and just like you talked about and I've talked about in all videos, when you put two tuning forks together, you know, they match frequency. So if you think about it, if everything is a frequency, a wave, you've only got to match that frequency, and you're able to communicate with that side or see that side. So when you say you see strange shit, you could just be oscillating at a frequency that matches. That's why we're made of crystal. Skeletons made of crystal. Everything's made of crystal.
Ooh, yeah.
Only melatonin, all this stuff I've done videos on 5-6 years ago. It matters because crystals can resonate and produce energy and focus it in. So you're focusing like a focus crystal. You know, you're focusing in on things, and that's when you think, oh, damn, I never saw that before. It was hidden in plain sight. It wasn't. It was just not in your sight, your frequency. Just like a TV radio or a ham radio. Once you find a channel and set the memory, you've got all these channels that you can just change to, and you're seeing shit that you've observed for, but you just not took it in. You've not saw it.
I agree. It's there, but we're just not tuned in because we're not even aware. We're not even conscious of certain things, so they just don't exist to us. But they are there, waiting to be, found out. I suppose.
And that's why I research all topics as much as I can. And I know I primarily look at Janus or Janice, but these things connect. You know, if you can connect things, that's just the tool that you use, and that's one of the tools I use because he's got the keys. And you know, when you start looking at things deeper and deeper, you're like, whoa, that can't be true. You start to doubt yourself because it's like, no way can that be true. Why is that person not saw it? You know, because you're all frequency. You're on an antenna, you know. And when you start looking at things and getting enlightened, that is changing a frequency in you, because that's where information is stored, like your Wi-Fi, your optic cables, sending information down glass by light, and that's what you're getting more information, and that's switching the so-called bulbs on your eyes, the lamps of the body, and you're able to see more. I do these videos to show, you know, hey, look at this, look at that. I mean, people talk about the black sun and different things like this, and how important that is to alchemy as well, and everything, and they talk about it. But I look at it another way. You look at it, and again, I'll put it in an old clip in a video in this. Many years ago, I showed you the different eyes and said, look at the black sun, the Sol Niger. It looks like an eye. So why can't it be an eye? Why can't it be your eye? When you get enlightened and all the veins start, you know, you're getting all the information to you. These things are important. And what's wrong with what ifing? People not in the chat, but on a whole, people seem to get very, very triggered straight away when you start to mention things, because you're not going to watch all my videos. But one of the biggest things, and some of the people in the chat who do follow me will know that when you look at the word truth, and even you in the middle, it doesn't mean truth. And this blowed me away because it's tied to a Roman goddess called Fides.
What?
You know, so the word truth doesn't exist as we know it. It's been weaponized.
What? Talk that shit. Talk to me, bro. Hey, listen, hold on. I've got some noise in the background of the building, so I'm muting up, but I'm still here. When it goes quiet, it means I'm muting up because there's too much noise. But keep going, bro.
So think about it now. If you etymology the word truth, you'll see it means faith. It means confidence. It means faith in what you're saying is right. So then you start looking into it. There's a Roman goddess called Fides, F-I-D-E. She's a goddess of confidence, truth, what we class as truth, and things like this. She's even one of the Masons' favourite gods. Ooh. So if you think about it, if the word truth doesn't exist, so when people are getting triggered and fighting, I'm a truth warrior, I'm fighting for God and all this stuff, the word truth does not exist as we know it. And people then fight off of, oh, well, my children, I love my children, that's the truth. No, that's a fact. You start looking at it like this way. Truth does not exist as we know it. It means confidence. It means, you know, bona fide. Just Google it. I've made a video on it and I've showed the etymology. And it's not me breaking it down. This is plain. You can't get any more. And that's why people, have you noticed when we're talking like this about a topic, they get so heated, they get so angry, they get triggered because it's faith. You're attacking their faith, their belief. And that's what all these words mean. The truth, confidence, Fides means belief. So that's why people get really agitated, because you're attacking something they believe to be so true. I had one guy message me. He's writing a book. He was writing a book on faith, on truth. And he said, you're talking out your ass. I said, well, what does it say when you type in truth? It says what I've just showed you. I show it. It's not like I'm making it up or I'm having an opinion on it. I showed you the etymology, and it states in it comes from confidence. That you're confident what you're saying is true. And she's a Roman goddess Fides, and she does a little secret handshake.
The secret handshake.
Topics, people get triggered and animated that you're attacking, because religion, politics, and things like that, you get triggered. But when you're talking about any of these theories, and it's like, oh, well, that's not the truth. There's no such word as it. Just go and look. Don't take my... And I even say that. Don't take my word for it. Go and look for yourself. And you'll find what I found. And you're like, yes. So if that word doesn't exist, why is it so popular in the community? Because what divides people? The truth. Everyone has the truth.
Bingo. It's the opposite. Truth meant to unite people, but in this case, it pushes each other away, right?
Yeah.
So you're right. You're totally right. I agree with that. Totally agree with that.
It means a lot to people. What's right in the middle of truth? You. And then, but what's in the middle of the truth? A rut. You see, it's a trap.
Yeah, boy.
Find, and you guys can go and find, and it's like, whoa, did I do? You like, did I make that shit up? It's like, come on, that can't be right, because we all want to know the truth of this place. And what if? And it's a big what if, because that bit's my opinion. Just what if the big hidden secret was that there was no truth? Because that word does not mean what it means.
That's it. That's it.
And that's
it's
what
their language.
People.
Yeah. Because their truth is not our truth. Their language is not our language. Yeah. It's a completely big hope.
And the big clue should be in that is, if it is true to them and it's not true to you, how can that be? Because we see things with these. all interpret things differently. Someone will be better at seeing puzzles, someone will see better at patterns, someone will see better in numbers, someone will see better at this, someone will see better in that. And that's the difference. We ain't all the same. And then when we are the same, people are talking as, oh, you're on my wavelength. So you adopted my wavelength and you're surfing it with me. We're having a chat, and that's what you harmonize, you sync up. So you're syncing your frequency to mine, matching it. It's a bit like you know, when kidnappers kidnap someone and they start to have feelings. It's called the Stockholm syndrome.
Okay.
A bit like that, in the sense of you then start to see from my point of view, and you then project, you know, you basically, oh shit, I can see where he's coming from, and then you adopt that as your truth. Well, you know, it's just information.
Got you. So, so do you think that's what's going on with the world? Do you think they got Stockholm syndrome, like where we're seeing it from the how do you call it? The lens of the oppressor.
Yeah. We've been impressed so much. We start to see things in other people's eyes when we need to see them in our eyes.
Yeah.
And when we do that, people talk about as the awakening moment. You know, you've woke up from being oppressed. And, you know, oppressed can be bad, but, you know, sometimes it's like your parents saying, don't do that, such and such, you know, you'll hurt yourself. You know, they're oppressing their beliefs. I mean, you might be fine. You might be really good at whatever it is, or, you know, but people are tying you down by chains. And sometimes we have to break free and experience whether we can do it or not. And that is what that awakened moment is. We're experiencing the realm with our own eyes for a change, and it's shocking. It can be disturbing, and you know, it can set people back. You know, how many people do you know that have saw things and like, shit, you know, they've then lost the plot light. They go down. You know, we saw it out countless times within the community that as soon as people start making content, sometimes they start to lose the shit. They start to learn the base of reality, because there's no reality of sorts. So people then start to fill in the blanks. You watch it, mine, it resonates. You then take, oh, you know what, I believe in that. So you're then taking it on there, but then you little tweak it. And we're adopting each other's things because that's what's walking our eyes, and it's very hard for us to go out there and make our own. So we're just, you know, traveling through this realm as we go and taking each other's information.
That's it. Totally agree with that, man. Hey, brilliant stuff, my boy Paul. Brilliant stuff. That I think we'll end on that note right there. But I'll get back into work. But hey, whew, I love this little format right here. YouTube is a blessing sometimes, right? Because I don't even know how to do the StreamYard on my phone, but YouTube apparently is just brilliant for the phone, right? So this was needed. Trust me, you cheered up my lunch break, right? My lunch break was much better with this, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Big time.
I don't mind it. I was only going to do a bit of my video, and it's nice to have a little chat and see people's comments, and hopefully intrigued a few minds and thought, hey, oh, he's only partially crazy. I'll go and check out what he's got, or I'll come up with my own conclusion. And don't be worried, because there's no right, no wrong. It's just how you see this realm, and people shouldn't be scared of saying it. How I got my name, the Black Sheep Research, because I was told I'm way out there. I'm rubbish. I'm crap. I'm a devil. I'm this and this, because people don't want you to think for yourself. And that's what it is. So go think for yourself.
Hold on. Oh, right, how do I switch this stuff around? So yeah, Paul, we're definitely gonna do this dance again, my brother. Hopefully, I may even go live a bit later, and if you're free, who knows? Maybe you'll bless us again, man. Maybe you'll bless us again, because I need to go over some of your work, and I want to present some of my findings that I've been coming across. So there's work to be done still, if you know what I mean.
For sure.
There's work to be done. So I'll keep you in the loop, my man. I'll definitely keep you in the loop for later. If you've got time, it'll be a blessing. If not, I know you're busy with your schedule, but we're definitely going to do this dance again, man.
Definitely. People, take care.
Wicked.
Have a good day. Hopefully you've enjoyed this brief little chat. I've enjoyed it, so thanks for the company. Thanks for the chat.
Wicked. Good stuff. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. You already know the motto. Look after yourself, love over war, lay low, and cheers, Paul. Much love, bro. Peace out.
Bye, guys.